And welcome back to the Andrew Gosser Show right here on 1039 WYAB. We are ready to go on this Wednesday. Yep. And we are streaming on Rumble. And we're streaming on X. And we're streaming on YouTube. And we're streaming at the mothership that is WYAB.com. So if you can't pick up the 50,000 watt blowtorch that is our radio signal, hey, like, share, subscribe on the stream. Go ahead and follow me on Andrew Gosser on X, AndrewGasser. That's where you can find me on X. I'm going to be posting a lot of fire today, reposting a lot of fire today. And if you want to be part of the program, number is simple 601 879 0002. If you want to text in, that's okay too. Lots of people love to text in, don't want to be on the air. Some of you, I know who you are. You need to remain incognito. But that number is 601 879 5060. And no matter what day it is, no matter what time the show is, the mission of the Andrew Gosser Show is consistent. It never changes. We are here to equip the saints. Who are the saints? Y'all are the saints. Let me tell you right now, there's a lot of saints in Iran. Bet you most people didn't know that up to 70% of mosques are either have reduced attendance or have completely shut down inside the state of Iran since 2023. Something is happening here, and all I gotta say is I'm here for it. Gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word incites anger. I'm trying to be gentle, but I am more convinced now, more than ever, that our cell phones are what is causing the woke mind virus. In today's show, I mean, I've been looking forward to today's show. We've got all sorts of stuff on Iran. We found out who shot down our F-15s over Kuwait. We've got the primary elections from Texas last night. Absolute winners, all. But I really seem to think that the biggest enemy of the United States of America is America itself. Roosevelt said the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. The only thing America has to fear is our own gluttony. Right here in Brandon, right here in Clinton, right here in Madison, right here in Mississippi. Mississippi is such a great state. We are so insulated from the woke mind virus that is New York, Chirac, California, Washington, Oregon. We are in such a great place, you know? And because we got it so good, we don't know what it's like to actually endure. We don't know what it's like to suffer persecution. We don't know what it's like to actually have to be down with the struggle. We think we've got it so bad here. America is such a racist country. It's such an evil place. Tear it down, tear it down. It's all the political left does. They're a bunch of demons. Complete demons. The left has been on a joyride since 2016. I was just sitting there going back through my timeline and realizing back in 2017 when they had that first women's march on DC where they had the pink, I can't say the actual word, so pink punene hats. Can I say that on the radio? I think I can. All these women were running around with these pink hats on, putting these same hats on their daughters, their underage minor daughters. Yep, that's good old Windows restarting again, right in the middle of the show. Standard. Don't need it. What does that say about the parenting skills in America today, where they think it's okay to go ahead and put their daughter in something like that, to subject their daughter to something like that? And then I get on Facebook here. Oh, this is gonna be great. All my links. We're gonna make it happen, people. We'll see if the restore button works. But I'm sitting here looking at Facebook, and I'm watching some of these Facebook warriors from Brandon, some of these Facebook warriors from Clinton, some of these Facebook warriors from Madison come out of the woodworks and talk about how they're all ticked off at Trump, how they're all upset. I'm not voting for Trump again. I'm not gonna do any of that. Clay and I were talking about it, and this is where I wanna start, and I'm sorry, it took me 3 extra clicks. I literally had this all set up. But Facebook is a public forum. You post your name out there, you expect to be called out. Nicole Johnson, three-time Trump voter, and I'm mad as hell. We voted for no war president. Not in Israel. We are not in Israel, I'm not gonna say the word because it's a cuss word. President. We're not slaves to Israel. This is incredible. Like, the more I talk about Israel, the more and more my computer crashes. It just crashed again. This is insane. Computer's been running perfectly for the last 3 days. As soon as you start talking about certain things, it just crashes. Coincidence? Probably, but we continue. We're completely forgetting all the great things that happened since this president has taken office for the second time. We are completely forgetting about the struggles of our J6 prisoners who were in jail that entire time, rotting away in jail, being held against their habeas corpus rights, just sitting there, and people are getting ticked off about this. I saw a congressman get upset that we lost 3 F-15E Strike Eagles. I saw it, and you wanna know what? I'm upset with it too. I'm getting this from Ward Carroll, who was my old department head at Fighter Squadron 102 in Naval Air Station Oceana. It was a Kuwaiti FA-18C with some old sidewinders. I was sitting there looking at the damage to those F-15s as they were floating down. Well, they were flat spinning down, but they were floating down. I'm wondering why they weren't in pieces. Well, now I know. They were using old AIM-9 sidewinders, good technology, warhead not that big, went right up the tailpipe, caused a problem, and they were able to eject. I'm telling you, if they would have been hit with a Patriot PAC-3 missile or greater, they would have been in trouble. We would have lost it. And it's roughly $100,000 per jet in today's money, or 100,000,000 in today's money. And you've got these leftist retards in Congress running around saying, "We could go ahead and feed all these kids. We could go ahead and do all this stuff." Nah, this was part of the military budget. And the truth is, the Kuwaiti government, they love America. They love America more than some of our US congressmen and senators do. They love America more than some of its citizens do. And they're gonna sit there and they're gonna go ahead and debrief this pilot and figure out just what the heck he was seeing. Some people say that a F-15E Strike Eagle looks kinda like a MiG-29 Fulcrum. I kinda disagree, but I don't know what the Kuwaiti level of pilot training is. I don't know what the standard is there for Viz Recce, but you have to get pretty close with those AIM-9s, especially if they were mics. Yeah, they don't have the ability to reach out and touch somebody like some of these other missiles do. But I wouldn't even be all surprised if Kuwait ends up buying us some new jets. They've ordered already 28 FA-18, I believe they're buying the E models, the single seat Super Hornets. They're called Rhinos, no relation to rhinos. But, there was that country song, "Have You Forgotten?" And I think America's forgotten what it's like to actually go ahead and defend freedom. I don't wanna be in a forever war. I don't wanna give Israel weapons, but I also understand that this is a country, the Islamic Republic of Iran, that's been responsible for Hamas, Islamic Jihad, and Hezbollah terrorizing nations all around the world. The Islamic Republic of Iran has been saying "Death to America" for 47 years, held some of our people hostage for 444 days, but yet we have blue-haired losers running around Brandon sitting there complaining about it. Is that you? I am so certain that cell phones have completely reprogrammed the way we think. We can't be happy about anything. Sweet Bea and I were talking about it. I'm like, I'm so grateful and thankful I got everything working on my train set great, everything's running, and you know what? The last thing I do is I complain how I couldn't make it just a little bit better. I couldn't be satisfied that I've got one of the best Chicago and Northwestern train sets probably in Mississippi. I'm sitting there always whining and complaining about something. I just can't be content. I just can't be happy. Can't be happy that the J6ers are out. Does that mean that we shouldn't vote conservative and Republican again? Let's just bring in Kamala and AOC. Let's just do it. Let's bring in Beto O'Rourke and Gavin Newsom. There you go. That's the good plan. You know, this show has been consistently telling you to run for local office to have impact in your local community because the grand scale of things, you're not going to have influence on the global scale unless you become president, unless you become a congressman, unless you become a senator. That's why we have primaries. And I am just even more convinced, even some of my friends in the church, they'll sit there and throw Molotov cocktails, haymakers, and snowballs from the sideline, but when it comes time to get into the game and bring that biblical worldview to Madison, Wisconsin, you don't want none of that. Oh, you don't have time for that now, but you'll get there on your TikTok and you'll wax poetic. You'll have these nuanced takes on what it means to be a conservative, what it means to be a Republican, ooh, what it means to be a Christian. And then you kiss your mom with that mouth. You're listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 1039 WYAB. We will be right back. Nope, they will not stop us. They will not. Just a little rehash to some of you people who might be sitting on the fence why we did what we did. Just want to make it
So
out there.
God bless America. We love America. We respect the flag. This is our second flag. Our first flag is the flag of United States of America. God bless America. God bless all of you. God bless our army, our navy, and whoever participating in this. And I pray in the name of Jesus, all of you guys to come back home safe. And again, we love you, Mr. President. Thank you so much. God bless America. And we love the flag of this country. Thank you so much.
I don't like President Trump. He's got a locker room talk type of mentality. I don't like President Trump today. I voted for him 3 times, but I'm mad at him now. Never mind that he's eliminated DEI programs across federal. We still got some sneaky links sitting here in Mississippi. We know who you are, and they're being smoked out. Yep, you know what? We shouldn't have elected President Trump because he went and got rid of an evil dictator who suppressed women's rights for the last 47 years. Let's listen to those 4th generation feminazis because they know better because they can wear pink panene hats around, put them on their daughters, hypersexualize our children, their children, your children. Yeah, this is just a bad deal. We just need to throw the whole thing out. To hell with it. One person who I will always have the utmost respect for, because she actually did put her hat in the ring and she did actually run locally in Hinds County, no less. Miss Allison. She put out a post today to me saying this, and this segues right into what I want to talk about. Can someone please explain to me why our Secretary of Defense, Miss Allison, I know it happens is, when the Gulf of America became the Gulf of America, people sometimes misidentified it, but we got to fix it, and it's been a while now. It's the Secretary of War, because that's what the Secretary of War does. We war. We fight to win. Can someone please explain to me why the Secretary of War is on TV breaking news explaining the strategy and plans during this war? Well, it's called a press briefing. General Norman Schwarzkopf did the same thing. And I can promise you, as someone who's been in the military, and I did listen to what General Kane and Secretary Hegseth said this morning. I listened to it on the way in. Normally, I try to catch the first hour of Clay, but that press conference is going on, and I felt it was important to listen to it to get any salient points out of it. And one of the biggest points I noted out of it was how much he didn't say. And it's funny because when you understand what they're trying to communicate, what they're saying, you can see right where they go up to the line and then where they go pull back. And Miss Allison, I promise you this, that there was nothing said that would compromise troop movements or our troops on the ground in United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, and the other Bahrain, and whatever else I'm forgetting over there, the United States Navy. I mean, you wanna talk about scaring the crap out of the Chinese and the Russians right now? They are in a very, very intense mode right now because while President Trump and his team are not infected with the woke virus or the rot gut that is social media, the American people are. Why did we go into Venezuela? Well, we had to cut off China's oil. They were sitting there going ahead and poisoning America with fentanyl and other synthetic types of drugs. Oh, once you do that, what happened? Cuba now is failing because they're not getting free oil to sit there and pester us 90 miles off the coast of Florida. And now that puts Iran in a box. The largest state sponsor of terrorism in the world. That's not to say that there aren't other countries out there that don't do that, but Iran's the biggest, and we know it. We know it to be true. Look at what they've done to Lebanon. Look at what they've done to Gaza. Where are all those Palestinian protesters in the middle when Iran is being freed, by the way? Where are they? Oh, those are paid liberals, 4th and 5th generation feminazis doing all that craziness. And don't worry, I've got the clips on Ellison going testifying before Congress today. Yay, another hearing testifying on the fraud in Minnesota. Hooray. Let's get all excited, people. I know I'm kind of bouncing around a little bit here, but I'm trying to point out something in for some of you, you're already there, you get it. Just join in me and help me deliver the message. President Trump, yep, he went after Iran. Throw the whole thing away. Never mind achieving record U.S. energy production and exports, becoming an energy exporter and not an importer. We're energy independent. You're saying that would have happened under Kamala and Waltz? Are some of you Republicans who are out there bad-mouthing and trashing Trump right now over this, having any thought on what has actually occurred up to this point? Do you just wake up with your black pills in the morning and take them even before you pop your SSRIs? Do you actually think about, "Hey, we're gonna get rid of this guy. Let's look at all the good, let's look at all the bad, where does it come out?" And I'm, quite frankly, a little bit astonished. Not that I don't think that the left will fall for this rope-a-dope, but I'm astonished that some of my good conservative friends are falling for this. I don't care what the polls say when it comes to America's reaction. I think it's like plus 52 right now. It's absolutely ridiculous. A and when I sit there and I look at this here, let me read another quote. Dylan Jones, "Damn right. Love Donald, not so much now." So where are you going, Dylan? Where are you going? Is it back to the Democrat plantation? Back to slavery? Uh-oh, gonna touch that rail right there. Back when the Democrats ran Mississippi along with the KKK? We gonna go back to that? Or are we gonna celebrate the fact that we just liberated one of the largest countries in the Middle East? That you have I mean, the people celebrating are just phenomenal. There's people out there so excited and so happy and thankful. This is from Fox.
What brought you out here today?
To thank President Trump.
What were you thinking when you saw the news?
We couldn't believe it. It's been 47 years of this tyranny. I've been coming to this federal building since the 1980s, since the Islamic Republic of Iran has been in power. They are the most barbaric terrorist organization in the entire world. With them gone, the world will be a better place.
It's time for the world to breathe. It's time for the Iranian people to go to where they're supposed to go, to really free themselves from this darkness. The world is going to be in a better place. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you, Israel. We love you. The world is going to be in much better place as of today. And we don't know how to thank Israel and President Trump. All I can tell you is I've been living for 47 years. And the future of everybody in the whole world depended on this regime being gone. And now they're gone. Now that they're gone, we can finally breathe.
That's in the middle of LA, by the way. Where are all those Mexican protesters now? Where is Black Lives Matters now? Where are these fourth and fifth wave generation feminist Nazis now? Oh, I know where they're at. They're in our classrooms. They're on our campuses, fomenting hate against this country, saying that it's the great Satan. They're sounding just like Hezbollah. They're sounding just like Islamic Jihad. They're sounding just like Hamas. I'm fired up over this. I have absolutely no sympathy or quarter to spare. Gen X, you don't know what it's like not to know what your future is gonna be like. Shut up. We were told to duck and cover under our desks. Fear of nuclear war every day being shoved down our throats. We understand. And this new feminazism, this fourth or fifth wave, whatever generation it is, that's infected our school system, that's infected our political life, that's infected your bedroom, it's gotta be ripped out, and we've gotta celebrate freeing of these people, the Persian people. Andrew, you don't sound very Christian. This is the biblical worldview, I'm telling you right now. Go read Ezra, go read Nehemiah, go read Book of Esther, and see where all that generated from. I'm just upset that more of my fellow Americans can't appreciate women being freed, not having to wear a hijab, acid being thrown on their face. Oh, yeah, I got censored for that too. I posted that. Because here in America, we can just go to our favorite liquor store, go to our favorite pot dispensary, get fired up, get drunk, and not worry about what's going on halfway around the world. We don't have that responsibility. We don't care. Not out of sight, out of mind. In Russia, you don't have to care about politics, but politics cares about you. And you'll get all upset about us cleaning out some two-bit dictators, some terrorists, some people who wanna see America die, but you won't even show up to a school board meeting on a Sunday or on a Wednesday morning. You are listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. Be right back.
Hello, Iranian here. They keep asking the same question. Why are lefties, why are the loudest pro Gaza voices completely silent when it comes to Iran? Well, the answer is simple because the truth exposes the lie. Because acknowledging Iran would shatter the ideological fantasy that they built.
Yeah, we are back on the Andrew Gosser Show. Just got this text in. Hey, Andrew, I hope your day's going well. I was just listening to your show as usual. Just had a question. What's up with Mike Madison? Has he gone total TDS? You don't have to answer the question, but I think that we both know. God bless you, brother, and keep up the great work. Brother Mark, I promise I'm gonna. And, that's the beautiful thing about WYAB, ladies and gentlemen. We are all free, independent thinkers. And thank God to Matt, the station owner and general manager, because he's never once come up and said, Andy, don't talk about this. Never once. And the thing is that we need all points of view. Now, we might say that, between CBS, NBC, ABC, CNN, MSN now, BS always, we get enough of the liberal trash shoved down our throats. But, you know, there are things that I absolutely love about Mike, and there's things that I disagree with. When it comes to health and the food security in America, I think Mike owns it on WYB. He does better than me. I agree with what he's saying. But at the same time, when it comes to, foreign policy, I disagree with him. And the thing that I have to keep on reminding myself and keep on reminding the listeners here, that's why we do Techniques, Tactics, and Procedures, TTP Tuesdays. That's why we do Founding Father Fridays, is to put rounds in your clips so that you can go ahead and have those discussions, those debates, those political battles, not physical, not physical. But if you don't have your ammunition ready to go, well, you're not gonna be able to make that case. And I think Mike does a great job of making conservatives think. I'm all in that hour before I get on the radio, I hear about 2 minutes of what he's saying because I'm getting my computer ready, praying to Jesus that it's not gonna try to shut down 2 times in the middle of the first segment. I'm making sure I've got my show notes ready to go, my show prep ready to go. I wanna make sure that I give the best radio program I can give personally with the views that's been instilled in me through my creator, through my parents, with my spouse, and that's what I get. So, brother, I don't know. Mike doesn't take phone calls, and that's all right. We all do it differently. There is no one way to skin the cat. It would be interesting for him to come out with a show and just say, "Hey, this is how I would vote." And I've got a really good friend too. His name's Paul. He's much more of the libertarian bent. We both lived in Illinois together. He, by the way, ran for local office. He got himself on the ballot. They kicked him off the ballot, so he ran as a write-in, and he got the largest vote tally ever. He was awesome, and what did they do? They crucified him. They whooped up on him, they whooped up on all of the new independent conservatives that came in, and it changed him a little bit. But that's how the American system works. We all say we want change and we want things for the better, but in truth, we just don't want anything to change. We just wanna keep ours, keep it on. Not in my backyard. We all know we need energy, but don't you dare put one of those Valor Atomics mini nuclear reactors anywhere near me. I don't wanna glow in the dark. We fall for the mass manipulation, the mass formation psychosis that's coming through all of our devices. I got 2 computers and a cell phone in front of me, and they're all beeping different things at me, flashing at more information. What do I put to the side? What do I take in? What do I repeat to the audience? And it's only speeding up. But I'm grateful for Mike because when I do get the chance to listen to him, not that he changes my mind, but he makes me reinforce my argument. And someone who gave me a lot of bad advice, but also gave me some good advice, once said, "Andy, instead of raising your voice, you should reinforce your argument." That's a proverb. It's not in the Bible, but that's a proverb. And that's why I get on here and I try to point out. So all of you who are ticked off about Trump going in and taking out a Islamic terrorist regime, are you not gonna vote for him now, knowing that he removed more than 2.6 million illegal immigrants through voluntary deportation as well as forced deportation? Are you upset that the border crossings have dropped, he says to 0, but everything that I'm reading says it's about, 1% now from what it was. There's still a couple coyotes out there sneaking some people over, but it's completely dropped. So, are you gonna take that Puritan vial, Brother Doug, Brother Dylan, Miss Amber, with all the good that Trump's done? I mean, just think about the good that Trump's done for Mississippi, reshoring all these jobs to Mississippi, putting those tariffs on that have forced companies to come back and invest in America instead of investing in China. Mississippi's booming. "Oh, I don't like that he invited Iran. I'm not gonna do anything anymore." You know, and to Allison's point, why is Secretary of War coming out on television and explaining some of the techniques, tactics, and procedures? Well, the American people kind of demand what they wanna see what they're getting for their tax dollar, and I can't blame that. I think in the white programs, the US military, very good. Black programs, SRD type stuff, we don't have any real way to validate that. I guess we can trust our congressmen who are read into that and can talk about that, but they never talk about it anyways. They're just like, "Yep, it's there." I guess that's why we have the news media too. We have 3 branches of government: the executive, the congressional, and the legis or the con I'm sorry, the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. I genuinely believe with all my heart the executive branch and the legislative branch are actually operating as about as the founding fathers would want, with the exception of the Senate being elected by the people and not the state governments themselves. But that's operating right. Where I think almost all conservatives can agree is that the Department of Justice and the judicial branch of government is absolute shambles. It's a Charlie Foxtrot. It's screwed up. And this is why, while I don't always agree with my friends who are freaking out over Israel and Iran, I do understand their plea when it comes to why can't we get any of the bad people here at home? And I guess this is where this really needs to go for the president. And again, it shows, you, you know, we take down this terrorist regime and something else gets into place there, that's great. Time moves on. But if anything cracks in the Epstein file, if all of a sudden Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, all these people start getting perp walked and we start prosecuting the Epstein files, you are gonna see national revival like you've never seen before. Because, eh, this Iran thing is not the main thing that people are ticked off over, they're not. They're ticked off that their justice system is duplicitous, it's fake, it's not moving like it should. "Oh, Andy, the wheels of justice grind slow." Yeah, they don't grind backwards. They don't run cover-up operations. They don't bring a bunch of influencers to the White House, give them binders of crap that we already know about, and then call it a great day. Oh, don't get me started. You are listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We will be right back.
How about this new one they have? Their new star, Crockett. How about her?
Yeah, you are listening to the Andrew Gosser Show. You know what? Let's listen to Jasmine Crockett's commercial one more time because this one needs to go down in the history books as how not to pay for a U.S. Senator commercial and what not to do. Well, you got a picture of you with your magic going on and quoting the president, Donald J. Trump. Just not going to work for you.
How about this new one they have? Their new star, Crockett. How about her?
I didn't know you had elves working here.
No, you smell like a bum's not that.
Does Santa?
Wow, that was coming from Benny Johnson, and I think I clicked the wrong one. I think that was his meme.
How about this new one they have? Their new star, Crockett. How about her?
She's the new star of the Democrat Party, Jasmine Crockett. They're in big trouble.
But you have this woman, Crockett. She's a very low IQ person.
I watched her speak the other day. She's definitely a low IQ person.
Crockett. Oh, man. Oh, man.
She's a very low IQ person.
Somebody said the other day she's one of the leaders of the party. I said, you got to be kidding.
Now they're going to rely on Crockett. Crockett's going to bring them back.
That's the commercial, and it's got her sitting there crossing her arms, blinking, doing all of her things. I don't know why I clicked on the Benny one and not the official campaign one. I apologize for that. I don't know what Benny's going on there. But it just goes to show you, you're going to vote now for Jasmine Crockett. And you know who endorsed Jasmine Crockett, who lost, by the way? None other than Kamala Harris herself. Could you imagine Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, and Jasmine Crockett in the U.S. Senate trying to take on someone like the mullahs from Iran, or having to deal with Israel, or having to deal with the worthless English right now? Oh my gosh. It's breathtaking to me to actually try to even contemplate having to deal with Biden 2.0. But there are Republicans out there who want to do it. And good on you. Hey, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I'm pleading with you to run for local office and have local impact. So that way you can start doing things here locally inside of Brandon, inside of Madison, inside of Hinds County, inside of Clinton. No, I'm not running, which was a great joke. I posted that Drain the Swamp pic the other day, and like 5 people from Illinois said, Andy, you moving back to Illinois? Heck no, I'm not moving back to Illinois. You couldn't pay me to move back to there. That is the land of depression. That is the land of oppression. You got J.B. Pritzker causing all sorts of drama over there. You've got the mayor who can't balance a budget, taxing the heck out of the middle class and the poor to pay for his rich buddies. For crying out loud, you got the Chicago Bears leaving the state of Illinois and leaving the city of Chicago to move to Hammond, Indiana, because they can't get their stuff in one sock. And you expect me to move back to Illinois? Nah. I'll keep fighting for Mississippi. This is where we're at. We are in the greatest state. We're a little bit fired up sometimes. We say some things we wish we didn't. That just comes with the territory of being human. But man almighty, some of you all coming out with these absolutes, you need to let it go. You need to let it go. It's not the way to live, man. It's not the way to live. We'll be back in the second hour in just a minute. Be right back.
I had never met Jeffrey Epstein. I was never on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. I was never on any plane with Jeffrey Epstein or with Ghislaine Maxwell. Never met her. But you know who did? You know who palled around with both of them? Donald Trump.
It's over 89,000. We are losing the battle and we are losing the war, and boys and girls are suffering for it. And to give you an idea of the scope of what's happening in America, there's a red dot map
Yes, yes, you are tuned into the Andrew Gosser Show. We are moving and grooving on a Wednesday. Halfway to the weekend, people. Halfway to the weekend. Thank goodness for that. Yep, we are streaming on Rumble. Yep, we are streaming on X. Yep, we are streaming on YouTube. And we are streaming at the mothership that is WYAB.com. So if you can't pick us up on the 50,000 watt blowtorch that is WYAB 1039, go ahead and hit up our stream. Like, share, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate a follow on Rumble, YouTube, and X. It's just Andrew Gosser, AndrewGasser. And man, that would just make all the difference in the world as we continue to grow the program. Not like any of the other conservative programs, not just on WYB, but I venture around the country looking at things completely different. And that's a good thing. Look, if you want to be part of the program, we'd love to have you. 601-879-0002. Text line is open, 601-879-5060. And our mission is standard at the Andrew Gosser Show. We're getting these briefings over and over again. We're getting more synced up, going back to the briefing room back in the day. The mission is standard. We are here to equip the saints. Who are the saints? Y'all are the saints. And it's better to hang a millstone around your neck and drown yourself in the ocean than to harm a little one. And that's where we're starting. Did you know that Tim Tebow testified yesterday in front of the Senate, talking about all the pedophiles? Not around the world, just in America. I've got this clip here, and I feel we need to talk about it because it just continues to drive the point that the DOJ is not doing what it's supposed to do. And this is coming from the House itself and Tim Tebow. Breaking: America has over 89,000 devices downloading child rape videos in the last 6 months. In the last 6 months, we've got the videos, we got the devices. Does that mean we got the numbers too? This is up from 56,000 the last time they checked. This is what happens when you don't prosecute elites in the Epstein files. No friggin' chicken stuff. Yep. Let's just play. And by the way, I know Tim Tebow is a Florida Gator doing the chomp on the video stream. I don't do that too often. I'm not a Florida fan. I don't get involved in all that kind of silliness. But Tim Tebow is a national treasure. He was kicked out of the NFL for praying to Jesus, and now all of a sudden everybody wants to bring Jesus back after we've completely pushed him out of society. Oh, maybe we want to bring him back. Let's listen to Tim Tebow talk about this.
It's over 89,000. We are losing the battle and we are losing the war, and boys and girls are suffering for it. And to give you an idea of the scope of what's happening in America, there's a red dot map right over there over my right shoulder, and that's just a 6-month screenshot of the US. And every red dot that is on there is someone that is downloading.
I'm not sure why that stopped. I'm not stopping that.
Sharing or distributing child rape images, almost all under the age of 12. And there's over 330 of them just in that 6-month screenshot. And we know that 55 to 85% of them are also hands-on offenders, and we know that your average offender has 13 victims in their lifetime. The scale of harm right here in America is, to a certain extent, hard to comprehend.
Pam Bondi, where the hell are you? Better yet, Pam Bondi, I know you've got 50 states to worry about. You got the Epstein files to worry about and all that. Lynn Finch, where the hell are you? I'm looking at this map, and Mississippi is absolutely saturated with red dots. Pedos among us, downloading child rape photographs and pornography. And people wonder why God is kind of upset with the United States of America. You wonder why my good friends who don't always agree with me are so fired up about the Epstein stuff not coming out. When I go on Facebook and I read about all of this, and they're upset with Trump going to war with Iran, but they're also upset because the Epstein files aren't coming out. I mean, it's like you're asking for a sign. God, give me a sign. God gives you a sign, and you're like, well, that's not a good enough one. I want to let Tim finish up what he was saying.
But that's why we're here. And when you knock down one of those doors, you also have no idea how many boys and girls you're going to find. From Operation Renewed Hope 1, one of the doors that was knocked down, when they went in and seized his computer, they found that he also had raped 30 other boys and girls in that neighborhood.
In that neighborhood. Is that neighborhood Brandon, Mississippi? Is that neighborhood Terry, Mississippi? Is that neighborhood Clinton, Mississippi? Is that neighborhood Madison, Mississippi? Is that neighborhood Jackson, Mississippi? Or Byram, Mississippi? Or wherever in Mississippi? Look, this is going to be the one issue that is going to completely rip the United States of America apart. We either say we protect our kids and love our kids, or we sacrifice them to these demons and devils that nobody wants to acknowledge and admit. And we're sitting here holding these congratulatory meetings over opioid settlements, or how we're funding organizations with Mississippi taxpayer money to organizations that don't support ICE. We'll be happy with that, but no, don't go after the Stop myself. Don't go after the men and women who are screwing our kids, literally, figuratively, mentally, psychologically, spiritually. I mean, I'm not a prosecutor. I'm not a cop. But when you have somebody with the celebrity of Tim Tebow coming up to say, hey, I got all these people inside your state that are doinking kids. Do you want to go after them? And you don't even give him a shout on the phone and say, hey, can you go provide me all of this? How are you getting all this? I mean, God forbid that I ever give Lynn Finch, hold on a sec. God forbid I give Lynn Finch any credit or idea on how to do something. But if I was that'd be like the first thing I'd be doing. Let's take a phone call here. Let me make sure good to go. Hey, go ahead. You're on the air.
Andre, I'm loving your show. I'd like
Thank
to throw a little comment in there on your previous session about the government.
Yep.
If you do a little bit more exploring into the Constitution, you realize there are 4 branches of the federal government. Power is not delegated to the government or the states thereof or reserved to the people thereof.
I see where you're going with this. Please continue.
Well, that's about all I can do at 70 miles an hour.
Well, drive safely. Don't do that. But you are correct. The enumerated powers. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So,
and it's not taught, and it's still totally ignored, especially by politicians.
You know what? You have made me recalibrate my mind, my friend, because I think
and we need to get up off our posteriors and do something about it.
Yep. We absolutely do. Locally, we got to start locally, though. If we just try to go for the whole enchilada, I mean, that's
correct.
Yep.
Brother,
I appreciate it.
Take care, buddy.
Yep.
Love you. Be safe. I got to go.
Love you too, man. Take care. Be blessed.
Talk to you later.
Yep.
Bye.
Caller's totally right. Enumerated powers. Those that which aren't specifically given to the federal government are automatically reverted to the states. And what the federal government does is try to come back in through the 14th. I mean, that does happen, the 14th Amendment. And I appreciate, man, people calling in, listening, driving down the road blows me away. I'm always grateful and thankful for the phone calls. And that just goes to show you that we need to bring civics and our Constitution back into our public school system, not just for a week here and a week there, or a day here and a day there, but daily. Kids should be standing up for the Pledge of Allegiance every day. And if they're not standing up, they need to articulate why and figure that out, because we live in the greatest country in the world. Just ask that freed Iranians right now, or anywhere else where we've gone in and helped do that. Freed a people. But you know who we do need to lock up are the people screwing the kids, and we need to free those kids and start loving on them in a spiritual way, because it is absolutely disgusting. And before the phone call, I was just talking about God forbid for me to tell Lynn Finch what to do. but she would be, you know what? I don't even mind saying it because it's a God move if it happens. She would be politically a hero. She launches Operation Kilo Foxtrot and starts just arresting all these pedos all over Mississippi. Look, she can use the sheriffs, she can use the police, she can use MBI, she can use the Capitol Police, she can, I mean, it's not like she doesn't have a good place to start. Go look at this map that's out there. Eh, I'll sit there and I'll make sure that it gets replayed right now or reposted on my timeline. It's not like she doesn't have somewhere to look inside Mississippi. And while she's rounding up the pedos, she can also round up the illegals too. This all goes back to our broken justice system, which we had calls on yesterday, last week. The justice system is broken and it's two-tiered, just like that gentleman yesterday was saying. The rich and the poor, the political class. Man, and how many news stories have actually broke this? How many people have actually talked about this? I haven't heard about it. And here's the worst thing about it. If I didn't hear about it from a friend, I wouldn't even be talking about it. Let's take another phone call.
After tone, record message.
Hey, thanks for calling WYAB. Yep. They're always trying to get me. And that just lets me know that I'm over the target, bombing them, scoring points, if you will. Doesn't bother me a bit. You sit there, crank call radio station. Doesn't bother me a bit. You are listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We will be right back. Hello, this is the Andrew Gosser Show.
All right, brother, let's try this again.
Hey, we're on a commercial break. Can I hold you through the break, or can you call back in like 5 minutes?
I'll call back.
Okay.
Every one of those red dot maps is a unique IP address that is downloaded, shared, or distributing child rape images, almost all under the age of 12. And that's just a 6-month screenshot of it. And there are over 338,000 on there. There's blue dots on there. You can't really see them, but the blue ones are the ones that are under investigation.
In a sea of red.
Isn't that a problem of what we're talking about?
Oh, yeah. Welcome back to the dulcet tones of the Andrew Gosser Show on 1039 WYAB. We were just giving our Attorney General, Lynn Fitch, some friendly political advice. But if the first video wasn't enough to get you fired up, listen to this one.
Every one of those red dot maps is a unique IP address that is downloaded, shared, or distributing child rape images, almost all under the age of 12. And that's just a 6-month screenshot of it. And there are over 338,000 on there. There's blue dots on there. You can't really see them, but
I can't see one blue dot on that video, by the way. Just adding some color commentary there. Not one blue dot.
the blue ones are the ones that are under investigation.
In a sea of red.
Isn't that a problem of what we're talking about? Everyone.
He says that there's blue dots there. I can't see them. I cannot see the blue dots. More dots, more dots, more dots. Come on, more dots. If you know, you know. We are at a crisis point in the morality of the United States of America. Do we actually go after the pedophilia problem? Do we go? What is even the biggest problem that we have in America now? Is it the fraud? Is it the bankrupting of America? Funding foreign terror organizations like Iran and Somalia? Is it the war on our children? Hypersexualizing them. You notice how lately you've seen a lot of commercials for Instagram and Facebook and TikTok saying that they've got parental controls so that your kids can't go ahead and see things that they're not supposed to see. With great power comes great responsibility. And right now, the people of America are wielding so much power. We are drunk on power. We don't have any responsibility, though. I mean, we've got people running around in cat costumes, voting. We have absolutely no clue of how to wield the great gift that our creator and our founding fathers gave us. People already asking for that video too. 13,000 reposts, 41,000 likes. Tim Tebow. See, there are good people out there doing the good work. Government can't do it all. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I go talk to my police chief in Terry and see what he can't do if there's one in Terry. Maybe it takes all of us just reaching out to Attorney General and to our congressmen and to our state reps and senators. Maybe go give Brother Tate a call. I mean, focus like the military focuses. When we decide we're going to do something, my old commander, combat discipline focus. Maybe we focus the prism on this just for a week. Start putting him behind bars. Andrew, we don't have enough space to lock him up. Oh, well, Tim Burchett said what we could do with that. Congressman Tim Burchett. Maybe we build a new wing of Parchment and make it rickety and terrible. Maybe we make offenders pay for the crimes that they commit. Maybe we have a sense of responsibility to duty, to honor in the country again. Maybe we have some integrity. And look, police departments don't walk off scot-free. Look at all the drugs they're pushing in northwestern Mississippi. Sheriffs and deputies going down left and right, pushing that dope into Memphis. So this isn't like the only problem. It's just for me, as a father of 4, I care about my kids, and I don't want my kids being subjected to this, and I don't want my grandkids being subjected to this. Do you agree with me or no? Does your school board agree with me or no? I don't know. This was literally sent to me like maybe 2 minutes before I went to the top of the hour. I have other stories that I wanna talk about, but any chance that I get to go ahead and defend our children and to try to inspire our politicos to do something, especially the judicial branch, which is just like boobs on a bull, whether that be federal, state, or local, not doing enough. And I don't know if it's because it's the officers on the ground or if it's the district attorneys and the assistant state's attorneys and whoever the attorneys are. But I've got other stories I wanna get to. DraftKings and Energy spend over $100,000 on Super Bowl weekend for 2 Mississippi politicians, staffers, and spouses. Did you hear about this one, ladies and gentlemen? Of course you didn't. This is coming from Mississippi Today, so it's gonna have a left-leaning slant to it. But sports gambling giant and wasn't there a sports gambling bill just make it through the House and the Senate? Sports gambling giant DraftKings and energy company Energy spent a combined $107,398 on the 2025 Super Bowl weekend for House Speaker Jason White, House Public Utilities Chairman Brent Powell, White's staff, and a couple of their spouses. That's all I need to know. Are we ever gonna get nuclear technology to be upgraded here in Mississippi? Probably not. Valor Atomics basically putting down 25 megawatts in the footprint of a local mall parking lot. Don't want that. That would upset the apple cart there. See, we can get sports gambling bills, but we can't get anti-Sharia law bills. We can get crony capitalism bills, but we can't protect the kids. And people wonder why the people don't like the judicial system so much, why politicians are hated more than lawyers, which is just in and of itself shocking. This one is also from the Mississippi Today, but again, remember how I told you, you have to read the whole story in order to understand the context of it. So Becky Curry from Brookhaven has been trying to get prison health care reform through forever. And, you know, the Democrats always say they want it, they want it, they want it, and they always blame the Republicans for it. Well, listen to this. A legislative push to improve health care in Mississippi prisons, which has attracted legal scrutiny among mounting allegations of prisoner welfare being declined, appeared to be dead in the Senate. Representative Becky Curry, the House Corrections Chairwoman, spearheaded the package. It passed the House, and it went to the Senate. And she's now taking measures to keep it alive in the Senate. Who runs the Senate? Well, it's the Republicans. So why did it die? The move was prompted by the Senate Corrections Committee Vice Chairman Lydia Chassinol, a Republican from Winona, saying that she planned to kill almost all of Curry's bills without taking them up for a vote Tuesday deadline. Why? Why would the vice chairman decide to kill all of another Republican's bills? Chassinol is running the committee while Chairman Juan Barrett, a Democrat from Heidelberg, is out with an illness. So you're telling me that a Democrat in the Senate is killing a Republican bill in the Republican Senate because we got to be nice and give Democrats chairmanships of committees. And then you wonder why so many independent conservatives just tell the Republican Party to F off. The chairman can't show up. You're the next Republican in line, Chairwoman Lydia. Do your job and prove the bill. Put it up. And to all you Democrats out there who are in shock right now, don't you dare blame the Republicans for not doing their job in the House. You can thank your Democrat Senator Juan from Heidelberg for killing the bill. And the only reason we know about it is because he's out sick. Do you not see why we need independent journalists right here in Mississippi? Do you not see why we need people like Nick Shirley here in Mississippi, James O'Keefe here in Mississippi? Republicans, you are going to get absolutely smoked for this. Well, you probably won't because there's about 50,000 billion other things to focus on right now. But shout out to Becky Curry. And by the way, Becky Curry is also the same state representative who has been sounding the alarm on Sharia law. She's the state rep who has been talking to OBGYNs about some of the mutilations that are occurring right here in Mississippi. But we don't have time to take that up. But hell, let's do some sports betting. Hell, let's do some drinking on Sunday. Look, I'm not here to say that I don't enjoy a good cocktail or a good malt beverage. I do. There's nowhere in the Bible that says I can't have a good cocktail. Now, if it affects my life where I can't make a living and can't do stuff and I'm a drunkard, well, then there's a problem. But we don't need to have that crap on Sunday. We got 6 other days. If you're too poor to plan to get yourself a cocktail on a Sunday, then get the heck out of here. Or better yet, go to one of our fine dining establishments all throughout Mississippi. We always talk about how we have some of the best restaurants in the world. Well, if you wanna go get one of those fine cocktails, let's go ahead and do it. I just wanna read this again. Representative Betty, and this is 2 paragraphs, and I know it's kinda long, but I need this to stick in to some of you Republicans out there who are whining and complaining about Trump. You ain't gonna do a darn thing about Trump, but you can do something about these 2 senators over here in Mississippi. Representative Becky Curry, the House Corrections Chairwoman, spearheading the package of reforms aimed at ensuring prisoners aren't denied care, used a legislative maneuver to keep the measures alive after Senate leaders prepared to kill them on Tuesday, hours before a deadline for committees to pass general bills from the other chamber. Curry, a Republican from Brookhaven, changed the language in a Senate bill dealing with the prisons and probation and inserted the language from her own proposals. That move was prompted by Senate Corrections Committee Vice Chairwoman Lydia Chassinall, a Republican from Winona, saying that she planned to kill almost all of Curry's bills without taking them up for a vote by Tuesday's deadline. Chassinall is running the committee while Chairman Juan Barrett, a Democrat from Heidelberg, is out with an illness, and she said she was honoring Barrett's wishes only by bringing 2 bills forward. Screw his wishes. He can go fly a kite. He can go do one. If this isn't a reason, you know what? I'm gonna say it right now. I miss Chris McDaniel. You are listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We'll be right back. And we are back here at the Andrew Gosser Show. Just got sent this picture from unknown texter, and it's coming from CBS News. Unexploded Iranian missile lands in Syria. And it's got a picture of a missile augured into the ground with the engine sticking up out of the ground and the centrical part of the missile buried into the ground. You've got a couple sheep ranchers over there. There's some sheep around this thing. And what I want to do right now is give a public service announcement to everybody who doesn't have a brain. If you have a brain, you're going to know this, and this does not apply to you because you already know this. You can move on to your next scheduled activity, which is continuing to listen to the Andrew Gosser Show. But if you don't have a brain and you happen to see a missile sticking out of the ground, you are not an explosive ordnance disposal technician. Do not go near that thing. Don't pose for pictures of it. Don't send it to CBS News. Let the experts go in and do it. Dude, this is just wild to me. I mean, I see a couple sheep sitting over there just grazing away. I'm not sure if the photo is even staged, but I mean, you can actually see a missile augured into the ground. And you know, hopefully we can exploit that technology and just see how horrible their missile technology really is, or how good it is. But my goodness, yeah. I mean, war, you see crazy stuff. You just see the weirdest stuff all the time. And when I saw this, I was just like, these guys are not even 15 feet away. That thing could cook off and blow up at any second. We don't know the size of the warhead on that thing. We don't know what type of missile it is. It's definitely Iranian. But that's all we know. In other news, the United States Navy, for the first time since World War II, has sunk an enemy ship with a torpedo from a submarine. And the United States has released video footage of it, which is pretty awesome. Again, there was nothing classified that was released. It was just a video of the shot being taken. And there you go. Another Iranian ship down. I don't believe they have any serviceable ships left in their fleet. This is like Operation Praying Mantis on crack. And if you don't know what Operation Praying Mantis is, do yourself a favor right now. I'm going to give you another. It's got a little bit of spicy language, but you want to talk about the most entertaining recap of Operation Praying Mantis. Go look up the Fat Electrician on YouTube. Operation Praying Mantis. Get yourself your favorite cold beverage. I personally choose regular Coke or regular Dr. Pepper, maybe sweet tea, maybe something else, and sit back and get prepared to laugh. Use the restroom before you go watch this video because it's that good. And you know, Army medics, they've got a sense of humor about them that just makes them a little bit different. And we appreciate all of our Army medics out there, our Navy corpsmen too, aka Doc. We appreciate them. What else is going on in the world that I want to talk about? We really didn't talk about the Texas primaries too much. The one thing that got brought up to me is, number one, it's not Mississippi, and I have absolutely zero impact in Texas politics. I don't even donate to any candidates out there, although there is one or two that I wouldn't mind doing that to. But the primaries came up, and it looks like, well, maybe not. If you call back, I'll get to you right away. But if not, that's all right too. But with the Mississippi primary, why is it over spring break weekend when parents are taking their kids out of the state, out of the country to go do stuff? I don't understand it. Here, let's try this one again. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
All right, phone tag. You're it.
We're going to do one of those.
How are you, my brother?
I'm doing great. We're going to do one of those WWF Tag Team SmackDown tag-ins. You're up.
Well, I was just reflecting upon your Illinois background, and I used to call Kim Wade and do a pretty good Bill Clinton impression, so here it goes. I understand I flew on J.D. Pritzker's plane, and I said, hey, baby, what's your name?
That's really good.
Just leave me up. You guys just let me go, man. I'm ready to go to the nursing home and get a warm blanket and some cold milk, man. Y'all let me go. Hey, Trump. Hey, buddy, you didn't do anything wrong. I get a pardon, right?
Dude, that is so scary good. That is so scary good.
Bless his heart. He looks rode hard and put up wet, don't
He looks like he's been traveled down a road, well traveled, not less traveled.
Woo, woo. I used to watch these shows. I think HBO had it. Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
They used to tell stories. I think Hillary Clinton should audition for that skeleton. Holy cow!
The lady or the skeleton that comes on in the beginning and starts doing that.
Either one. And you're probably not from this area, so you don't remember. There used to be a horrible movie. It came on at midnight, and everybody stayed up on Channel 12, and the hostess name was Scar Tisha.
Oh, my goodness.
And, she could do that. She could do that very well, too. My goodness gracious, boy. You look at Bill, and you just about say, give the guy a cup of milk, send him to a home, and just let him ride it out, because he can't be too much farther from meeting his maker. I mean, he's looking rough.
Yeah, I'm all for him meeting his maker, but I'd rather have him meet his maker because he gets prosecuted for the crimes that he allegedly has committed and is doing such a great job of defending himself. I mean, you got to, again, it's our Department of Justice giving him all the outs to try to avoid being held accountable for what he did. Because if it was you, brother, I guarantee you wouldn't be on here doing your best Bill Clinton. You would be behind bars praying that this injustice passes over you. You know what I mean?
Oh, no doubt. But they're using or will use or going to use, the fact that, his memory's not what it used to be. He doesn't remember, Hillary Clinton under her first deposition years ago was, I'm sorry, I can't recall. I don't remember that, And they got pictures and emails and all. So you're exactly correct. But you're right. The Pam Bondi's like teats on the boar hog. She's pretty much useless.
It's I shouldn't be laughing at it. We should be sitting here celebrating, and it's not like I would have expected by now all the big names to be brought out and prosecuted, but I would have expected something to happen by now, and it hasn't. And then with the whole Tim Tebow revelation that I literally found out less than an hour ago, and I do more of an expose on it here on 103.9 WYAB than any of our local affiliates or any of our local TV stations have. It's depressing. It just goes to show you how far America is falling so quickly,
Oh, man. I'm going to tell you what. I love me some Tim Tebow now. Let me tell you what. I'm not a Florida fan, but I'm a Tebow fan because I'm going to tell you what.
Yep.
When I went back and watched his Heisman Trophy acceptance speech, and of course, this young man from Indiana was constantly espousing his faith. And of course, he just kept saying God. And I did a little research. Turned out he was Catholic. But I'm going to tell you what, Tim Tebow, he called it, baby. He said, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, did not mince any words. That's my man right there. I love me some Tim Tebow.
Me too. And even my LSU fans who are out there, they sit there and they give Florida a lot of garbage, but they never trash talk Tim Tebow. And that says all you need to know. Yep. But that's what's
good stuff, brother. Good talking with you.
Great talking with you too, Brother Richard. That was Brother Richard calling in, giving his best Bill Clinton. We're going to have to, you know what? That could be a regular segment on the show. What would Bill say? I've done some voices too. And this could be like a whole bit. This could go somewhere, Richard. We need to have lunch again and talk about this because the ability, I mean, humor has to have an element of truth in it. And the things that you bring to the table with doing that are absolutely remarkable. I was actually chuckling. If you go back and watch the live stream, you'll see me laughing about it. We're going to take our last break. I still haven't really talked about the Texas primary other than that Jasmine Crockett lost, and that's good for us. But we'll be right back right here on the Andrew Gosser Show, 103.9 WYAB. Oh, yeah. Welcome back to the Andrew Gosser Show right here on 103.9 WYAB. 2 hours in the can, just like that. Just goes by so quick, ladies and gentlemen. And uh, during the last part of the show, during the last break, I always take down my sign and move stuff out. But the amount of show prep that I didn't even get to today because this show broke so much so much news broke during the show that I just felt I had to go with it. And again, it comes from, well, how did you know what to say? How do you formulate your opinions? Well, it comes from a biblical worldview. Well, I don't have to read the Bible to understand we need to protect our kids. I know, but where does that come from inside you? It's got to come from somewhere. So search that out. And I will continue to say I support this president to the to everything that he's doing. But he needs to have resolution on these Epstein files because it's going to kill him. He can do all the good in the world, but there's just that group of people out there who, and I am not one of them, but I see them and I'm friends with a lot of them, and I'm going to continue to talk to them. I'm not going to stick my head in the sand and not pretend that they don't exist. You go ahead and you minister to them and you try to make them see what the heck's going on. I did get a couple different texts here because they wanted to hear about what happened in Texas. Dan Crenshaw, who lost his eye in combat in Afghanistan, lost his reelection bid. He was much more of a war hawk type of congressman. He made a boat ton, a butt ton of money somehow while he was in Congress. So he's going to land on his feet. He's going to be all right. Him and Sean Ryan can continue their lawsuits. And I just don't get involved with naval special warfare. I'm not a Navy SEAL. Don't have anything to do with it. Friends with a few of them. But and I follow a few on X and YouTube and that other social media platform that begins with a F. But we don't like to say it because they're corrupt. Sister Lee is texting in asking, we vote on March 10th, right? Yep, March 10th is the Republican and Democrat primary. Oh, and speaking of which, that popped up. I belong to a local Facebook group. And, you got to watch out for these poll workers. And I want to, there it is, right there. Because when this popped up, I was like, no, that can't be true. Important to remember, and this is from, it's a private Facebook group. Important to remember, the last time the lady at the table told me, now if you vote Democrat, you have to vote in the general to scare me into not doing that. But I was knowledgeable enough to know better. Look, what I think the poll worker was trying to say there is if you vote in the Democrat primary and there's a Democrat runoff, you can vote in that runoff. If you're a Republican and you vote in the Democrat primary and then there's a Republican primary and you want to vote in the Republican primary, you don't get to do that. You don't get to play both sides of the fence like that. Now, there are plenty of people who I know, this was the Illinois thing to do where we lived, is Democrats would vote in the Republican primary to get a weak Republican opponent and then in the general election vote for the Democrat just to get him smashed. And that happens all the time. It's just not the Democrats who do it. The Republicans do it too. But that's where we're at in American politics. I'm not sure if our founding fathers wanted us set up like that or not, but here we are. Look, you still got a few days to figure out who you're going to vote for. The election's next week. And, we've got time to do that. I hope you're making your plans now. I hope you're talking to your neighbors now, saying, hey, this is who this is who I'm supporting for Congress. This is who I'm supporting for Senate. Don't wait till that last minute. Get a game plan put together early. That's how we do it here on the Andrew Gosser Show. Lindsey Beckham's coming up next on WYAB, followed by the Radio Strongman at 4 p.m. Till next time, everybody, take care and be blessed.